Greetings everyone and welcome back to City Skylines and of course to the Green Cities DLC. Oh no, we have got a full cemetery. Let's empty that a little bit then, just to restore the availability of hearses. Now the reason why you don't just let the cemetery fill up, I mean you can, and you're probably a better person than me if you do. Basically, once this fills, the hearses that this cemetery has don't do anything anymore. They will only service this cemetery either in taking corpses away or bringing corpses to it, but they will not just go and help another cemetery because this one has reached capacity. So you always want to kind of balance how full any particular cemetery is. Wow, the ground pollution around here is terrible. Oh my goodness. A little, well actually that's starting to grow into a bit more ground pollution around there, which isn't very nice either. Oh well, now we have got a few things that we're going to be working on today. Now, one thing that we're starting to see is a massive dearth of workers. And a part of that, I feel, is that we've not really grown our schools out district in line with the amount of heavy industry that we have. So with that in mind, and considering Fairview Heights is going to be in amongst all of the industrial districts, I think it probably makes sense for this one to have schools out as well. The citizens will prefer working over education, while only a small portion of the eligible citizens will go to study in the university. Now all that will mean is that we won't get as many highly educated people. It won't stop them going to elementary school, but it should still help out a tiny bit. We've got a bit of a fire there. We already got people dealing with it? It looks like we have. Whew. Okay, that's good. Well done, our fire brigade. You are earning your wages. Okay, well, let's start this episode out then by drawing out this road a little bit further. We'll take it straight up there. Now, this is the arable land here, and we don't really want to ruin that. So, let's have a nice strong curve to around about there, and then straight down along until we get to about the bottom there, and then we can curve around again. There we go. Something like that. Should do. Now, all of this area in here, we can start to develop with roads for residential, and then we can continue our agricultural industry over here. We can also connect it up over on this side. Now that is going to alleviate quite a lot of the stress on our industry, I imagine, because these will be two junctions of very, very far apart, and that will be a massive, massive help. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay down these roads, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to start zoning. Okay, and welcome back. We are done with the road laying. This is going to be the single largest residential expansion that the city has had so far. I'm actually quite excited to see how this works out, though it will come at a fair old cost in terms of electricity. I'm not as excited about learning how much this thing is going to cost in order to actually supply with electricity and indeed water, as it happens, and sewage and all of the other services which are so essential to a happy, not terribly smelly residential area. There we go. Connect this up just so it looks nice. And finally, just a little tweak there. Okay, there we go. Now this is going to be a huge, huge upgrade, but also a massive strain on our fairly humble infrastructure in terms of moving our citizens from one part of the city to the next. I'm not looking forward to that. Power we might be okay on, but water availability I'm actually a little bit concerned about. A little tiny bit concerned. Now, a couple of people have actually said, why am I not using the eco-friendly pumps? Now, I've addressed this before, but obviously there are only people who are arriving to the channel every day, and just to cover it, I know it doesn't look like it, there is only one non-eco-friendly sewage outlet. only one, and that at this point is there because of story reasons. All the others were eco-friendly until most recently I got the water treatment plant. I do not have the eco-friendly version of these yet, but we do have one of those, and continuing onwards we will always select the most eco-friendly option, and eventually we'll start replacing the other options we have, except for those two, because again, those are at this point as much there for story as anything else. Now, I'm wondering if before we hook this up, we should perhaps make another route to connect down here. And perhaps one thing we could do is hook up to Lovelace Lane. I think that might be a possibility. And it also would help us out a little bit down here. We don't actually need this there anymore, frankly. So, sure, I'm actually going to demolish this. We do not need this particular one there. So, goodbye to you, and also goodbye to most of that, because Lovelace Lane is going to get an extension. Right, let's make sure that this is all set up correctly. We are going to want you to start coming up. Well, I'm going to have to take an angle. How are we going to want to bring it across first? Actually, let's start from this side. So we'll grab... Oh, that was completely the wrong road anyway, just as well, I noticed. All right, we'll bring this down to about here. Sure. And then straight across. Let's try and get a similar looking bridge, shall we? Something nice. Like that. Yeah, sure. That'll do. And we can swing up and around. Like so. And then down to connect. Or we will, just as soon as we move that little street there. Got a couple of things we need to change. In fact, because on this side we do not have the trees, let's get rid of those. We might want to have them. Certainly, but we don't have them yet, so let's avoid worrying about that. There we go. Let's just get a straight line. Just want to create a connection point if we can. No, we cannot. There we go. That's what we need. Boom. Right. Okay, with that, we should be able to use the free tool. About there, I think. Not quite. There. Okay, let's try and extend this one out by just a tiny little bit. That should be enough. In fact, let's bring these roads in a little bit closer to each other. There we are. I think that should give me a nice enough curve, no? Something like this, perhaps? Then the rest of the way. It's not the nicest curve, but it will do, I think. So there we go. Lovelace Lane is going to need to extend out all the way to the bridge, I think. So let's actually get on with that. Let's bring up... Well, let's close that first. No, go away. There we go. Right, we want to adjust road. And we want to adjust Lovelace Lane. All the way to the bridge. There we are. And this bridge can be whatever it wants, really. And then Hickory Street. And is this Hickory Bridge? Yeah, actually, that's pretty cool. I like it. Okay. That's all we needed to do there. Okay, so now we have a new route for our traffic to get into the city. And we've got a decent road carrying it out. Honestly, it might have been better if we could have just had Lovelace Lane go straight through here. And maybe I will adjust things to accommodate that in the future, because this curve, I'm not entirely sold on it. But it is an organic street. It has grown to suit the ever-increasing demands of the city it belongs to, and that I can totally appreciate. All right, let's go ahead and grab things. You know, an organic city is not always the prettiest city, but it's got a pretty soul, in my opinion. Right, let's also adjust this junction. Actually, I'm not sure we need to worry about that one too much, but I'm going to get rid of it anyway. Right, along here, we've got a couple of lights. Again, don't really think we need them. Let's get rid of them for now. We may need them in the future. I've just got a thing against traffic lights, damn it. They slow everything down so much. Let's get rid of these as well. There is just really not a volume of traffic there that needs traffic lights for those junctions. Okay then, now the next thing we've got to do before we go ahead and set this district in motion, we need to actually get it all set up as part of the same thing. Fairview Heights is now going to be the largest district we have, much less the, you know, even besides it being the largest residential area, it's just the flat out largest district we're going to have. It's going to be pretty awesome. And it's a nice district, in my opinion. Now, I did leave a little bit of coastline around here, and that is specifically so that we can put in some nice things down there along the coast, possibly an adjustment to what we've decided on down here. We've got our little sauna there. I think that's marvelous myself. Perfect. Also, I changed this. The whole thing of that being a cul-de-sac, it just didn't look like one, so I got rid. Let's bring you down, connect you up properly. Sure, somewhere around there will do. There we go. Perfect. Right, now then, it is time for us to watch all of our power just kind of bleed away into nothingness as we drastically increase the amount of residential we have available. Actually, no, let's pop in some light commercial there. I think we'll get a couple of commercial buildings here and there. In fact, we're going to make a little bit of a high street down here just for our residents to enjoy. And yeah, actually we've got enough demand that I'm going to put in a fair few. In fact, I'm going to make this one no, we want the high street here to be the high-rise commercial. There we are, that'll be a little bit better. And we can continue adding down plenty of low-density residential. Pretty much all of Fairview Heights is going to be low-density, I think. I'm not keen on making any of the residential here high-density. At least not for the time being. I think low-density is going to be the order of business for Fairview. But there we are. Let's speed things up a little bit and just see how this affects everything. Because we have put down quite a few houses around here. Now you'll notice that some areas have much larger gaps in. That's because I want to put infrastructure there and various services and the likes. Got a crime underway there. Are we going to see anyone coming along? Crime rate is high. Where is our police station? The nearest police station is just over there. Well, hopefully. There we go. There we are. Fantastic. The police have dealt with that problem for us. Marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Right. Okay. We should probably also add in a couple other routes across for my pedestrians if we really want them to get over there. And I do, honestly. We've got a couple of offices down here that I might actually expand now a little bit. Sure, let's pop in a couple more office locations there. However, I should have done this first because I'm going to feel like a bit of a jerk now that it's going to start developing. Let's get that going up here. So, and then we can stretch this out. We're going to have a fairly wonderful but extremely long pedestrian bridge there. But I think that's lovely myself. There we go. So our pedestrians can just cross. If they want to, they can just go straight across and it'll be great. I am going to put down a bike path right next to it as well. Let's get this up there. Womp. And then around. Much the same. Straight across to there. Oops. A daisy. Can we not do that? Can we not get that to go? Space already occupied. Not enjoying that, I'll be honest. Oh, looks like it's okay. There we go. Fantastic. Now, all of our pedestrians can just take the bike to work, if they work in the offices at the very least. Oh, they can merge. Oh, that's fantastic. I approve. There we are. Now, what I don't want to see is any pedestrians walking along the bike route and any cyclists riding across the pedestrian route. Ah, it looks like they are law-abiding citizens. In fact, in many ways, the law in City Skylines is perfect. People always obey the speed limits. People generally always use the correct route. I mean, you couldn't ask for better behaved citizens, really, except for the criminals. But even they don't break the speed limit, from what I can tell. So they have there's certain lines they won't cross. And frankly, you know, endangering civilians by driving recklessly, that's just one step too far for the criminals in Aavak. And I can get behind that. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. We've got a raging inferno over here. Where's the fire brigade? Come on. There we go. Marvellous. Wonderful. Okay, well, that wasn't too terribly bad. Where's the nearest one? It's actually just over here, so really they haven't got much to worry about there. We've only got a sauna over here, and frankly, I think what we need is an actual medical clinic. I wonder. We could do that. We could also get a... well, we've got a cemetery right there. Have we got a crematorium over here? We don't, and I think probably we want one. Let's find a little spot to pop that down. So we'll pop a crematorium right there. Just to help out a little bit. There we go. But as far as our medical clinic, I am quite concerned that you don't have one available to you. So let's get one right about here. We can put it right next to the crematorium, just for those times when they don't manage to save the person. That is a little bit grim. So let's try and make it a little bit easier on the mind. I put in a beautiful Japanese garden to distract the citizens. Ah, fantastic. Never fear, Japanese garden knows how to deal with things. We'll pop down a couple of trees here and there as well. Some bushes in this little area, which was going to actually have houses, no longer will, because it just looks better like this, I think. We'll also have a few rocks. There we go, one there, and a couple of little ones just around there as well. Lovely, I think. Absolutely lovely. Can I sneak in a little path there? Can I sneak a tiny little path? Oh, I can. Marvellous. I approve. Tiny little path. There we go. And we'll actually make this tiny little path just go straight down. There we go. Beautiful. I like it. Okay, so as our... wow, okay, that's done really well. Now that our residential have started bumping up again, we're starting to see that there are less places now that need workers, which is always good to see. Let's check all of the industrial areas. Yeah, we're actually not doing too badly, honestly. We're not doing too badly. Why do you always need the Heatherly? Oh! Ha 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 ha! I'm a derp. Sorry, I just realized. Why do you always need the police? It's because the police can't get there due to one-way roads. One day, I'll grow a brain. I promise you. Also, I'll use the right type of road. There we go. And let's just upgrade these. Womp, womp, womp. There we are. So now the police and the garbage trucks and everything else can get to our solar plants, which have been sorely lacking of these things for quite some time. Oh, that place looks lovely. Let's have a proper look at that. Oh, this looks absolutely beautiful. I like it a lot. I think that has come together really well. Wish I could drop a couple of other little things there, like, I don't know, like a little ice cream stand or something. Looks lovely. Maybe a proper little parking lot or something along those lines. That would be pretty cool, I think. But now that that's there, I may actually just hook this up, which would give our trucks yet another way into the city on this side. How is our traffic doing on the whole, though? Because I'm not noticing a lot of build-up right now, which is always good to see. Wrong one. Okay. Over here, pretty heavy use. In fact, in here is incredibly heavy use. I may want to upgrade some of these roads, frankly. That would result in losing a lot of these buildings. But then again, I haven't even set up any public transport in here. So that's to be expected to some degrees. Over here, we're seeing quite a lot of use on this road in particular, but that shouldn't be too terribly bad. Of course, there are traffic lights there, which are never amazing. Let's go ahead and change that up. Let's pop a stop sign on this side, though. I would rather you guys allow my regular traffic to move a little bit more freely down there. In fact, we'll pop one there as well. There we are. How's the train doing? Train is seeing a lot of use. Wow, okay. This is seeing an awful lot of use. Something I approve of enormously. Alright, what about over here? It's very similar indeed. Alright. Now, we could do a quick spin around there and have the train track go across, and that would take a little bit more weight off this road. Are we seeing much being used over there? Not much. Not much. Not yet, anyway. Still, that's not actually bad. I do need to massively redo my public transport, I feel. It's not up to par yet, by quite a long shot. And I've taken a lot, I've gotten a lot of tips from people in the comments, and I really am thankful for that, because every little bit helps. And with these tips, thus armed, I will hopefully be able to set up a much better bus and general public transport system than we've got at the moment. Let's take this curve down, and at this point, let's bring this up a little bit. Let's not have it quite that aggressive though. Take this back, maybe 2. What I would like is also to bring this down to 3, something around there, and we'll just start coming up to about 3. Around, well, actually, let's bring this out. I wish there was a bit of a better way to keep this a nice angle, honestly. There we are. That should be good enough. That's actually quite a nice bridge, I think. So around about here. Then we'll bring this in a lot smoother and bring that back down to the ground there. That looks decent to me, actually. That bridge in particular. That part, not as much. I wish there was a way to get that a little bit smoother. In fact, there probably is. You know what I should have done? And I've done it with a couple of the roads, is if you're building something like this, just start with the height that you want. And then just connect the height to wherever you're bringing it down to. So in my case, it would be like this. And then it should make a nice curve. No, it doesn't here. It really doesn't want to have that long curve. That's a shame, because I think it would look a lot better. Anyway, though, let's go ahead and pop you down right about here, I'm going to say. And then connect you up. And that should be all we need to do. We're going to need a bit of a curve. Down here, down around there. That'll do. And there we go. We should now see a lot of the freight from Sylvan Heights using the train station. And that will take even more stress off our already fairly stressed roads. Okay, let's have a look at our RCI. We need quite a few more of a lot of things. Energy isn't too badly. Water, not too badly either, since we hooked up the extra pump. Garbage, I'm thinking we're probably... Well, we've actually got one over here, that's fine. We've also got the floating garbage collector. Lessens water pollution. A floating building must be placed on water. Well, how does this work then? We pay 1,000 a week. Do I put it somewhere like this and it just consumes the water pollution or something similar like that? I'm not actually sure at all. Lessens water pollution. A floating building must be placed on water. Sure, we'll pop it... We'll pop it downstream from where all the pollution is being created and just see how that works. So there we go. How does that do it? A friendly reminder, it's still not... Ooh, still not okay to throw trash in the water even though we have the new floating garbage collector. That is true. Maybe that is... I'm not sure. We'll see how that works. It might be more of a thing that needs to be near these items. But it does gather... garbage, so I'm not sure it's actually going to help with this kind of water pollution, not unless there is garbage flowing out through the sewer system, which unfortunately is a fact of life. Lots of people put things down the toilet they really shouldn't, and it is a shame. Alright, well actually let's have a look. I'm imagining that the increased demand for garbage collection is going to be on this side, so let's pop down another one of those as well and just try to help out a little bit. I wonder though, I guess that is just helping to gather just ground pollution that was getting into the water. I'm really not sure how that one is going to work, and perhaps I'll be able to work it out in time, but for the most part, oh my lord, look what we're doing. That's actually tragic, truly tragic. But now we've actually got more of this uncovered. We can see that this goes down to the water down there, and there are actually ships in that direction, and they may actually swing right around and be accessible to us around there? Maybe not, actually. I don't see any ships in this direction. We'll see. We'll have to see. It's an interesting problem that we're going to have to fix there. Right, time for some more residential. But I am thinking that we probably do want a couple of high-density residentials in here. On second thoughts, I think that it might make sense in a couple of small places, especially near the shops in the middle. So with that in mind, yeah, let's actually get rid of that one and pop down some high-density. Again, I don't want to completely replace high-density. I don't want this to be too heavily built up of an area. But a couple of high-density, especially around the middle, doesn't seem to be a bad idea, especially in these kind of custom built blocks here. So this one as well can be high-density. There we are, and we can possibly put some sort of park in the middle there. But generally speaking, the majority of this is going to be low density, especially along the road nearest the river, I think. There we are. Well, that should give us all of the residential that we need for the time being. So I'm thinking maybe we should start expanding things out over here once again, and a large amount of high density commercial just along here would be quite glorious in my opinion. So let's start by drawing this out to roughly the same sort of area as this one, about there I think. How big of a commercial district do we want over here? That's a question that we're going to have to answer at some point. We don't have an answer for it yet. We could, in fact, run a little road down here. Though it kind of defeats the purpose of having the pedestrian path there in a way. Or maybe I could just have a little road. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I like that idea. Let's have a lovely little road moving in the middle here. Something like this. Sure. We'll run it all the way down and then we can have some more high density in the middle there. There we are. That'll make that a little bit more heavily built up. Okay, and on this side, yeah, we'll go ahead and I want this to be a bit of a high street, so I'm gonna bring this one down just a little bit too, I think. So we've got a nice big gap there. Oop, wrong type of road, my bad. Let me upgrade these. There we go. Now, we don't want people to have to walk around the whole thing, but I would rather people not be able to just drive through the middle. I'd like them to have to drive around the whole thing, but not have to walk around it. So let's pop down the paths right now, actually. That seems like a good place to put one. And in fact, we can have quite a network of paths back here if we really want to. Something around there. We can even have a bit of an angled one down here, which I think would be quite nice. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have a bit of an angled one down there. It's gonna carve into the space that we've got available to us for our commercial buildings, but I don't actually mind too much in this instance. Let's try and get that to link up. Let's turn off the link to road guidelines. There we go. There we are. That's actually quite lovely, I think. Quite lovely indeed. We can drop a couple of things in there. Again, one of the mods that I've seen around and I've actually used in the past that I liked the most was the ability to build off these paths. So glorious. I thought it was so nice. Because there are lots of shops that do not give a care whether cars can get to them as long as people can get to them. Because in the end, cars don't buy stuff. People do. You don't need a car to be able to get near you. You just need the person who might have been driving the car in a different situation to be able to get there. It's the people who carry the money and people who make decisions. Until such a time that the cars carry the money and make the decisions, which may not be too far away. We're getting to the point that the cars are making decisions on where we go at this point, or at least how we get between A and B. Which other things we go through, who knows. But for the time being, we are still in control of the wallet and the purchasing decisions. Mostly. Possibly. Maybe it's changing in some parts of the world that we just don't know about yet. Or maybe some of us do. Maybe some of us are actually leading the automated car revolution right now. Maybe I have some automated cars who like watching my Let's Plays. In which case, hello. I hope you've had a pleasant day driving around. I hope your passengers have been courteous. Let's pop down a couple more bushes. There we go. Marvellous. Well, that really isn't a bush. That's a tree. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's a tree. It might be called a bush. No, it's called a large bush. No. Look at the size of the people. That is not a large bush. That is a tree at this point. If people can walk underneath it, reach up and possibly touch the branches, it is a tree. Now we have the solar power plant produces electricity with its large solar panels and stores power in batteries built underground. During the night, the solar power plant distributes stored electricity from the batteries, so it contributes to electricity production even during the night. And we can take out a third loan, and that's all we can get right now. We've got Grand City. This is amazing. You know, one thing I haven't done is I haven't put down a load of unique buildings, but we got a new concert going on. Let's go and check this out, shall we? Who's currently playing? Lily LaRue. Let's go in and have a look. Oh no, Nestle's popularity went down. That's terrible. Loads of people's popularities are down. Oh, did they start at 30? No, I think they started at 52. Oh, how horrible. Popularity change. Yeah. You know what? I think we're going to start an ad campaign. It's a lot of money. But I'm not going to have my bands going down in popularity, damn it. I refuse. I will do everything I can to make sure that my bands are the talk of the town, at least this town. Maybe the other towns too, hopefully. But this town at the very least. Right, the next thing I would like some unique buildings. Let's have a quick look at what we can do with that, shall we? Now, we've got tourism and leisure. We've got the fantastic fountain, which is extremely expensive. We've got the zoo, which also is extremely expensive. We've got landmarks, we've got a department store, a retail establishment offering a wide variety of consumer goods which are featured in their own departments in the store. Costs a fair bit, but does have a large visitor capacity. We've also got a cinema. Oh, now this I could get behind. I'd like that, but right now we've just spent so much on our concerts, we're going to have to watch out for a little bit. We've got the Statue of Industry, we've got a Statue of Wealth. Statue is the personification of the city's wealth. Requirement for building the space, elevator. That wouldn't be too bad. We've already got the Plaza of the Dead. What else have we got? We've got a transport tower. Okay, that's quite nice. The Fountain of Life and Death. Friendly Neighborhood Park. That's not really a building for this area, I don't think. Tax office. Let's not build that anyway. Let's see. Well, actually, I mean, I want the taxes, but there's the part of me is like, no one's going to want to live next to the tax office. Even the people who work in the tax office probably won't want to live next to the tax office. We've actually got quite a lot of buildings that we can build. Wow. Got the Central Park. Ooh, the Central Park offers recreational activities for citizens. Its vast green spaces are relaxing and soothing to citizens wearied by busy city life. It is humongous, but we can build it. Imagine that. Oh, that would be glorious. Right there in the middle. Oh, if I'd realized I had that, I might have actually slotted it in a little bit closer, but this would be glorious. Or do we want it more in a residential built-up area? Maybe over here. Actually, yeah, I think we'll reserve that for just a little bit over there. But we are going down in money rather sharply, and that is never a good thing. No, no, no. We need more cash. What's the problem at the moment? Let's actually have a look here. Congratulations, First Mayor. Just announced that our beautiful city won the most attractive city. Hooray! Supporting the ore industry was the right choice. That's just what our city's economy needed. What a great city. I would think I'm dreaming if I didn't know otherwise. The city's expanding once again, on our way to becoming a metropolis. I'm super happy that you're all so excited. What I'm not happy about, though, is the lack of garbage collection going on right. Oh, never mind. I think it's about to be fixed. Come on, it's garbage day. Go, go, go. Please. This road actually has enough need that we might want to get this one traffic lights so they are actually balanced. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this one is one that actually needs traffic lights. I need equal priority on this one because we've got so much traffic that needs to move around. There we go. That'll help out a bit. There we are. Let's get all of these things moving again, please. Please and thank you. Right. What's the weird smell come from the apartment next door? What do dead people smell like? Oh no, we're not having a death boom again, are we? Actually, I think there's only a couple. That being said, let's go ahead and have a look in here. You empty? Yes, you are. Sorry, my bad. Let's have a look at the others. Are they full? Yes, this one is. Drat, I completely forgot. My bad there, I'm afraid. We should be able to balance them out, though. Given a little bit of time. We're back into the positives again. Oh, I was a little bit worried about that, but ultimately we could just plop down a load more houses and it would have fixed itself, really. We've got enough demand that we don't have to worry too much about that sort of thing. We're going to have some terraces over here. There we are. And I'm thinking probably a couple of small stores just on the outskirts there. But I'll leave these spaces for residential or services more than likely, if I'm perfectly honest. There we go. Let's get those on the move again. There we are. Perfect. Are we actually seeing much traffic using this road? Not really that much, honestly. Not that much. Now, I'm going to avoid playing around with the public transport just yet. That's going to be something that we're going to deal with in an episode where I'm mostly focused on it, rather than trying to grow as we are here. But that episode may be the next one, because I definitely feel that we can do a lot better with the buses right now. Definitely in the places we've already been. I'm really favoring one of the systems that I used in my previous City Skylines playthrough, and that is we had basically a bus terminal, a central bus terminal. Now, I believe there are actually buildings that allow for that now. You can actually have a terminal building. The bus station is a hub for bus traffic, and it acts as a designated place where a bus or coach starts or ends its scheduled route. Now these, you can have all the bus routes coming into a single bus terminal, so you don't have to worry too much about having a single bus line going around and picking up from all of the other bus routes, or having all routes. Oh, well, actually, this gives you a building for all routes to converge on, which you kind of had to just kind of wing it previously. But to great effect, actually. We've also got taxis that I can start popping around. We've also got ferries as well. Where are they? Ships. There we are. We can put down ferries and all sorts of things. We also need to expand the buses out here. Honestly, this area is vast enough that I think we could have 2 bus lines operating just within Fairview Heights. Easily. Maybe multiples. But we'll probably address that in the next episode, I think. But for now, that's all we're going to have time for, I'm afraid. We've done quite a bit. Fairview Heights has exploded in terms of its population, and I'm pretty happy with that, actually. And the rest of the city seems to be doing okay. We now have dedicated ad campaigns for our bands, and hopefully that's going to gradually bring them up. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Nestor is up to 52. Lily LaRue, 49. Elijah Motti, 38. Unfortunately, they've had kind of bad previous concerts, but it's okay. We will get you there. Your popularity is going up by 1 per month at the moment, so maybe we're going to have to go for Premium Studio in the near future, just to ensure that things get a little bit better. In fact, I'm going to start popping up your ticket prices. Yours can be down at 40. Yours is well, yours can be at 30. But yours is going to be all the way up at 40 because of your popularity, and we'll see how that goes. But that's going to be it for me for now. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'm looking forward to the next. Let's have a final sweeping view of the city, because it's actually really, really pretty. Look at all those lights. It's glorious, though the light pollution is probably atrocious for anyone who's trying to see the stars. But I'll leave you with a final shot of our newest district, or rather our expanded Fairview Heights. But that's going to be it from me. Again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next. But until then, do take care.